I know. I wish, man. Actually, I'm pretty glad that my house isn't a nightclub. It's good to take a
Oh, you're in
break.
your house. Okay.
My house, yes.
All right.
Just waiting for a few other guys to pop on here. But yeah, man, in the meantime, what questions you got for me?
I'm thinking. I mean, maybe they're specific to my event, which is kind of an unusual one. I think it might, it's kind of like a one-off dance party, basically.
Okay.
The idea is to bring people from the salsa communities that I'm a part of, and
Nice.
basically invite them to a nice public setting. There's a beautiful train station here in DC that has a really nice open area that's great for photos. And idea is to hire a good photographer that would capture the moment. Friday the 13th before Thanksgiving, hopefully people will be in a more festive mood and dress well. My idea was to go to some of the salsa social dances that I'm aware of here in my city and ask people, basically show them the concept and the date and see which people would be interested. 3 women responded on Instagram, which I wasn't able to confirm with them just yet because I didn't have the date, but now I'm thinking the 13th. So, yeah, I mean, any feedback you have on the approach, the ad went out when you and I first talked, so it's been 2 weeks. They haven't been booked, the people that responded on Instagram. So I'm hoping I haven't lost them entirely. I'm going to re-engage now that there's more specificity on the date. But yeah, any initial thoughts you have? Welcome.
Well, so do you have a inner circle group chat established on Instagram?
No, I do not.
Okay. Because that would be the next step. So basically, the way that it works is that we go from an ad to an inbound DM to an inner circle group chat, and then we grow that inner circle group chat until we're at bare minimum 30 people to become event hosting eligible. So my memory is being jogged now. I think that it sounds like we probably need to hop on a one-to-one call and then kind of like get that set up and go through all of your ad leads.
Okay, yeah. Inner circle group chat. Okay. Is that part of the Notion materials? Because I didn't see that
No.
process listed. Okay.
Yeah. So none of that. So the like the course is going to be more like social skills and mindset. It's not going to really have all of like the tools and technology for the actual social funnel piece, but that's because like I build that piece for you just to make sure that it's done correctly,
Okay, great. Yeah, so set up with you individually.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Any broader thoughts on just kind of the concept and the approach that I'm doing? I mean, simple event, the idea is just to get people really nice quality photos, spur of the moment kind of inspiration. Setting, in the middle of a train station just before Valentine's Day, after work.
Yeah, I mean, so the only thing that you need for a successful social event is going to be, exclusive or at least semi-exclusive space and photography, and then some type of like, musical ambiance or musical talent.
Yeah, the space. I have 2 out of 3, so the space is not private. I could very well find something private, but it would come at substantially higher cost, and to rent a nice hotel lobby in DC is thousands, which I'd rather not do the first time out.
Yeah. Well, what I show you how to do is I show you how to secure a venue, so you wouldn't have to worry about that part. I do that part for you.
Okay. I also did not know that, so I'll set up with you privately.
Yes. Yeah. I think it's sounds like we're long due for a one-to-one call.
Okay. I'll find a time.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. Chris, what's going on? Wes, what's going on? Sumed. Lashar, you got a question, man?
Yeah, I did. I was just wanting to follow up from the what we were talking about on the side about how to attract more women to the functions. I looked it up on ChatGPT, and they were saying something about uh, framing it less as a pro wrestling meetup and more of a social outing with pro wrestling as like the background. Uh, yeah, I was wanting to know like what your thoughts on that were, and I don't know if I was clear with my answer that you gave me. You know, you asked me for a ratio, and I gave you like 93-7. That was from ChatGPT too. So
Gotcha. Well, first of all, man, congrats on your first event, brother.
yeah, thank you. It was fun, bro. Like it was everything I imagined it going. I mean, high energy. You know, wrestling fans. You know, it was good too because there was a group that was sitting off to the side of us, and I could tell they weren't wrestling fans, but we were so hyped that they started watching and they started getting into it. You know, so it was cool.
So how much money did the party bring in?
It brought in what did it say like 843.
You know, there's a lot of dudes. That's your first event too, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of dudes that are in this group that have paid a lot of good money to be in this group, that have been in this group for years, and they haven't even hosted their first event yet.
Why?
That's what I've been wondering too, man. I have no idea. That is a really good question, but you just showed them that you can, you know, how many weeks was it since we started this thing? Like 2-3 weeks or what?
It was 3 weeks, bro. About 2 or 3 weeks. It was yeah.
And then we made close to $900. And then how many people were at that thing? It was probably like 35 or 40, right?
It was 33.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's awesome. All right. So on the question of the male to female ratio, so the composition of your guest list for your party is what's going to determine the composition of the actual party itself. But what determines the composition of the guest list is going to be the composition of your inner circle community.
What does this mean? When you say composition, what does that mean? I know composition in terms of a camera lens, but in the the way you're using it now, I don't understand it.
Like just who's in the group, you know what I mean? Like the demographics, the age ranges, the genders, and all of that different stuff.
Okay.
Like who's at the party, basically, you know? And then so the male-female ratio. So the male-female ratio of your event is essentially determined by the male-female ratio inside of your inner circle chat. So that's what I was asking you is what's the male to female ratio inside of that, you know, WWE fans inner circle chat?
Yeah. So right now, I'm gonna try to answer. Okay. So right now it's 202 members in the group, and I would say off the top of my head, guessing, I would say there's about like 10, 15 women in there.
Gotcha. I'm really bad at math in my head, so let's
Yeah, me too.
let's have ChatGPT do it real quick. All right, we got 15 women in a 200 person room. What is the male to female ratio? So in your inner circle chat, as it is right now, let's see, there's about 12 men for every one woman. So that's probably what you would expect to see at your event. Was that about right?
Yeah, at the event, I remember counting 5 women, and some of the women were like the wives or girlfriend of the guys there. So, but yeah, 5 women out of the 33.
Okay. So 5 women out of 33 is a 6-1. So actually you got a better result at the event than you did what's inside of the group chat. But basically, man, you know, at the end of the day, your inner circle chat, it needs more women. Like badly. You know what I mean? Like desperately.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't figured out how to bridge that gap because if I'm being real, I mean, I'm not shocked that there's not a lot of women. I mean, 'cause pro wrestling is mostly a male dominated thing, you know. But yeah, I just haven't figured out how to bridge that gap to make it enticing to women. You know, want to bring their girlfriends out to an event like that.
Well, have you run the ad to only women? Have you run the ad just all women?
I have. I did that one of the weeks, and I got I can't tell you off the top of my head, bro. Yeah, but yes, to answer your question, I did do it to only women before, and I got some conversions. Not more than the guys, but some.
Yeah, but what we wanted to do, especially when it comes to marketing and advertising, guys, what we want to avoid doing is using our gut or using like making like hunch or like emotional decisions. We want numbers, right? We want to make data driven decisions. We want everything to come down and boil down and spoil down to the facts. So the question is what were the results of that campaign? If we need women in our group, then what we do is we run ads to just women.
Let me see. Let
So
me check real quick.
we did run an ad to just women. The question is, what was the result of that campaign? And specifically, so for everybody else that's listening, what we specifically look for is the cost per messaging conversation. And what we aim for is anything under $5 per message.
Let's see.
You want to take some time to do that, and I jump to some other questions in the meantime?
Yeah, I'm looking right now.
Okay. Javon, what you got, bro?
Yeah, so yeah, the event went really, really, really good. Really good. Like everybody just kept thanking, me, Samed, and my girlfriend about like just throwing an amazing event. So, and I always wanted to throw an event like that, so it worked out. And then we're gonna throw a big one for Samed's birthday in May. But yeah, my question is, we're trying to do these at least like once a month, right? At the end of the month, we've already kind of figured out the date. The next event. Oh, by the way, I got to tell you about what happened at my event. It's just hella different shit I got to tell you about. But so anyway, we met this guy through a mid. He brought a guy, and dude had a good time. I got him and his wife drinks. They felt cool, and they liked me and us and stuff. And I was just telling him like, yeah, next month we're gonna be doing like a red carpet like fashion show, and then after that we're gonna have like a mansion party in March. I'm not sure exactly where we're gonna have it yet, but we definitely want to do that. And he's this like well off guy. He's in AI or whatever, older guy, not older, but maybe like 40s or 50s, bald guy. He was like, oh yeah, I have one of those. And then he shows me his mansion in Palo Alto. He's like showing me pictures and shit. He's like, yeah, you guys can probably host it there or something like that. So yeah, I don't think we'll have to pay him. I mean, sounds like he isn't gonna would want to let us use it. But anyway, my question regarding our next event is, me and Samet were kind of going back and forth about like charging, how much to charge, and then who to charge. He was saying that he wants to charge men and women. And I'm like, I don't know if that's the best idea, because I know there's got people who do that, but number one, we're not like an establishment yet. We're not like a brick and mortar business where you kind of like have, and then two, we don't necessarily have, I don't think the status yet in order to be able to just like charge the women yet. But yeah, Samed was saying he thinks we should do like more of a high ticket thing for something like a red carpet fashion event for like $100 for like the men, and then for the women like a little bit cheaper. But I'm like, even 97 might be a little bit too much. I already set up the thing on Posh, but I'm like, I'm looking at like, concerts and entertainment, like different celebrities that you can go to, and like, concerts and shit, and that's like $80, so like ours being 100, I mean, we'd be having to give them a lot of value. Or am I just looking at this wrong?
Well, first of all, man, congratulations on the event. That's fucking badass. Sounds like one of the outcomes of that event is that you guys scored a mansion, right? So scored a mansion for the next event. So that's what we're talking about right there.
Yeah, and a bunch of other things I got to tell you about, but I'll get to that another time.
Yeah, we can get into story time. You know that we want to hear that shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, bro. Yeah, I would not worry at all if the guy that runs the mansion wants to charge something. We can definitely break him off and pay him some money, and I would recommend doing that. I would also highly recommend selling tickets to your event. It doesn't matter if you have a business or if you haven't done this in the past, or if you charge girls or charge guys. We've got dudes like Lashar, for example. We've got a ton of other case studies where you can charge money to anybody on your first event and you set the price, right? Because the reason why is we put our events into a category of one, meaning there is no different competition. When people say, why is the price so high? The answer is high compared to what, right? Compared to what? There's not mansion parties that people are getting invited to every single day left and right. So we don't compare it to a concert ticket. We don't compare it to Eventbrite. We don't compare it to fucking meetup.com because this isn't like that, right? Like we do our own shit. We put our own spin on it. We put our own flavor on it. We put our own beat on it. We put our own theme on it. We put our own guest list to it. We build that guest list. We curate that list. We're selling access, right? So when we sell access, we set the price and we set the standard. So you can maximize for profitability, but you can also maximize for dating. So there's a couple of different ways to set it up, right? It depends on what the end outcome goal would be.
Okay. Yeah, well, we want to have a lot of hot women there. We already kind of like, because my girlfriend is really helpful with this shit because she's kind of like done events a little bit before. So she was kind of telling us about like, and she has connections too. But anyway, for the red carpet event, I mean, we would need, need, and then one designer, I guess, that would like give the women clothes to wear. And then secondly, a makeup artist. And the women can do their own hair, but like just a makeup artist, just to make it legit. And then what else? Yeah, outside of the mansion, I guess that's kind of it. Maybe a DJ because we were thinking about having a party after the fashion show. But yeah, I guess the goal is to just get really attractive women there, one, and then also women who want to do the fashion show, want to like even walk the carpet, which I think that's easy, honestly. You can run ads for that. And then guys who are, like appreciate an atmosphere like that.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I would highly recommend you let me help you along the way in the process of negotiating the terms with the mansion owner. I would highly recommend that you let me help you set up the funnel in terms of the monetization and the ticket sales. And I mean, what's the max capacity of this event?
I don't even know. Like, we literally just I just met this guy like 2 days ago. Like, so we're still in
a rough number.
Early stage.
Just take a wild guess.
Of what? The capacity?
Max capacity.
Shit, I don't know. Definitely like 200 at least, probably.
Yeah, you're sitting on a $7,000 event.
Yeah.
Revenue.
I would say, like, because he didn't really, I didn't really see his, I don't remember seeing photos of the mansion. He just showed me like the pool outside of the mansion, and that was pretty big. So I'm like, all right, well, the pool big, I know the mansion's big, I don't know if two people huge pool like that and then have a small mansion.
Yeah, man. I mean, bro, worst case scenario, we break him off, a couple grand. We try to negotiate it for $1,000. We get the average ticket sale price at probably somewhere around 35. If we have a max capacity of 200, I mean, you're looking at after, we figure out the alcohol situation, same way Bruce did in Denver, where you get these mobile bartenders to come in and hit their minimum spend. So there's no out-of-pocket expense. Like, bro, you're definitely sitting on and looking at getting like a $5,000 net profit event from something like that. So let me know. And then, happy early birthday to Samed.
Oh yeah, I mean that's in May, bro. Like yeah, happy early birthday.
Yeah, that's a while from now. He's just talking about we're just like planning everything in advance at this point,
Yeah,
which is good. It kind of helps us, envision it.
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, let me just say this last thing. Just thank Brian, like, bro. Like, this program has been amazing because through this program I met Samed. Through this program I met Matt. Through this program I met Amid, who actually is the guy who introduced me to the guy through ads, funny enough. And dude, I'm probably the happiest I've ever been in my life right now. Like, I have an amazing girlfriend, like who is helping me out with all this shit. She's like wants to date girls, and like one of the girls that we're dating was at the event. Like, it's just so much shit I can't even like explain right now. But I've always wanted to host an event like that. I've never ever got to really celebrate my birthday or anything like that. It was just like literally like, I've always had friends, but it was never anything big like that, like this. And it would just be like me, my mom, and my sister, like, on my birthday, like, in a cake, and this is an event where we almost had 100 people, celebrating. my birthday, and we're gonna do the same thing for Cement. But yeah, it just felt amazing, dude. Like it feels kind of unreal. I'm not gonna lie. I gotta show you and everything. Cement will tell you we went through so much shit with this event, but I don't know what we've been on our manifestation shit too. So everything just fell into place perfect. Like I'm talking down to getting the fight for free.
Right.
The boxing fight. Like we met a guy in the elevator at the last minute. He was like, "Oh yeah, I have the fight. Like I can totally bring it upstairs." Like just crazy shit. It all worked out. Like nothing didn't work out. Everything worked out. I had this amazing. Wait till you see the photos, bro. They're fucking crazy.
Yeah, we can't wait to see them, man. And I saw the videos on Instagram. That shit looked really fun, bro. It looks like you were a vibe.
It's unreal. Yeah, it was great. And everybody just kept thanking us. And yeah, bro, no one complained. They just loved it. They're like, man, thank you for hosting this party. I think either you or Cement said this, but there was the best thing that you can do for society, which I don't know if this is true or not, but one of the best things you can do for society is throw a party because you're giving value, allowing people to have a good time, express themselves, meet new people. So I just wanted to say that. Thanks, bro. This program, man, yeah. Cause I've been wanting to get in this program. Remember we were talking on Instagram. You probably don't remember. Talk to hella people, but I remember talking to you 6 months before. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Everybody says that, but then I actually did it.
Right.
I didn't know how much it was or anything, so I was like, all right, I gotta save up or whatever. But yeah, it worked out. So yeah, maybe we can with this event, yeah, I would love for you to help us for sure. That'd be dope.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, bro. Thank you for participating, man. Thanks for being a part of it. You fucking crushed it, bro. I mean, did you deserve it, right? I mean, that's the thing is, to the victor belongs the spoils, So it's a good experience. It's a good feeling. And like you said, social connections are priceless, right? That's the one thing that money can't buy. You got money, you can take care of a lot of health issues. You got money, you can take care of a lot of looks maxing stuff, clothes, but when it comes to love, relationships, friendships, that's you can't purchase that. So you got to create it. And it's important, man. And what you're doing and what you and Cement are doing, right? With becoming leaders and building something and helping people, this is kind of one of the missing pillars and one of the missing keys for a lot of dudes out there. And you got to pursue excellence in all realms, including man. So it's not it's not a mystery to me why you got a awesome girlfriend. You're in momentum, and that shit is stacking, man. And that's the nature of momentum and all of that stuff too. Is when you start winning, it's easier to just keep winning. It becomes kind of almost like a virtuous cycle where the wins just keep pouring in, and that's how life is. You're either just winning hard upwards or you're kind of losing hard downwards. It's all about the momentum and the actions you take, the choices you make, and that's it.
Me and Cement call it the waterfall effect.
Right.
We were
Yes.
we were actually talking about women when we said that. We were like, yeah, once you get once girls know other girls like you, or you have a girlfriend, you get more girls, and from getting more girls, you get more girls. I'm like, bro, we about to be in the waterfall effect. So I think that applies to life too.
Bro,
Definitely.
And you really do eventually get to a place where you're too big to kind of die, right? You think about a banking institution, or you think about a Walmart. You think about a fucking Amazon, right? Those institutions are too big to die. If something bad were to happen to them, the government would bail them out. Amazon can't go anywhere, right? It becomes too integrated. It becomes too important. And it's kind of the same way when it comes to your social life and social circle, where you get to a certain point and it's kind of hard to fuck it up at that point. Yeah. You know what I mean? You would have to do something crazy, right? You have to go off the deep end. You have to go off the rails and, really track your reputation or do something crazy. So definitely don't do that. We've had conversations about reputation management and all of that different stuff, and mistakes made and lessons learned and stuff. And I got a lot of personal experience there, especially when it comes to, women. That's where you got to be careful. But yeah, man, keep that shit rolling, bro. Tag everybody on Instagram in the process.
Yeah, definitely will. Yeah, bro. But yeah, I'm gonna tell you guys more about it later. But I'm gonna let the other people speak. One more thing, I just realized if we had almost 100 people at my event, the mansion party is definitely more than 200 people. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, bro. I mean, we can
Like,
definitely we can sort that out.
Bro, I'm tripping. Yeah.
Yeah, we can sort
We
that
had
out. And we
80
can make
at that
stacks.
thing. Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah.
we can make stacks and we can get even better content, even more elevated, everything. Bashar, let's pop back to you, man. What you got for me on that those campaign numbers, brother?
All right. So for the campaign where it's the women only ran, it is. Yeah, I just lost it. God damn. It was 4,883 views with 36 conversions. Well, conversions being messages.
Okay.
The ad spent amount was $66.
For wait, how many? You said 36 messages?
Yeah, I got 36 messages.
Yeah.
And the spend is $66. And the views was 4,885.
That's all we need. That's all we need to know is the cost per messaging conversation. You're looking at $1.80 cost per messaging conversation. That's like extremely high performance.
Well, here's the thing. Well, with a lot of those chicks,
It's like a top performing ad.
well, with a lot of those chicks, you know, they'll reach out and, you know, I'll tell them what the ad is about and they'll read it and not respond to it. So a lot of those messages don't really go nowhere. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's all right, bro. That's normal. You send the regular just response. We've tested that one and we've used it for years and it works on everybody. It's just, hey, hey, nice meeting you. Next event's coming soon. For now, in the early phases of putting together the guest list for this private event, want me to add you in? They said yes. Yeah, and then if they leave that on scene, you follow up. You say, hello, you there? And
Well,
then
I haven't done
yes.
that. I always took them just reading it as like, I'm not interested. That's
No. This isn't this isn't the same thing as dating. This is sales.
okay.
And Chris will tell you. Chris is a professional salesperson. He'll tell you the money's in the follow up, man. You gotta get that view money. That's that follow up money. So I mean, in a sales pipeline, you follow up with people until they tell you to fuck off. I wouldn't take it that far, but I mean, I would hit them up several times. Why? They came to you, right? You didn't come to them. You put the ad out there. They're the one that replied to it. They asked for more information. We gave it to them, and then they don't respond to us. It's like, hello?
Mm-hmm.
Did you fall off the face of the earth? Did you get eaten by alligators here? What's going on? Make them laugh a little. Be humorous in your follow-up. If they misread it again, now we use a little bit of self-deprecating humor. Oh, damn, I must be getting ghosted here.
Mm-hmm.
They don't respond to that. Okay, one more try. I'll just be like, hey, listen, if you change your minds, just like this message and I'll send it over to you.
Okay.
That's how you can maximize conversion. You can squeeze all the juice out of the lemon, and that's how you increase efficiency. You get all of these messages, save them into your Instagram as saved replies. So load up your Instagram database. Everybody should be doing this. Use your saved replies feature inside of your Instagram Messenger. I don't know if you guys know that you can do that, but all of these copy paste messages, the same shit that we send to everybody in every funnel and every party invite, it only boils down to 10, 15 unique messages total for this entire funnel. And those can all just be saved inside of Instagram as a saved reply. So, you can create shortcuts. You can even actually talk to my boy Kyle. I've got a virtual assistant expert in the group. You can have my boy Kyle install a VA into your Instagram profile to do it for you if you're really trying to go hard. And now we're talking, crazy. Now we're talking about making money on these events. We're talking about doing 200-person events. We're talking about making $5,000 on events. We're talking about having virtual assistants reply to the DMs and build out the group chats and fill up the guest lists.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a full scale, like what we're doing here, you guys. And don't forget, like, of course, this is dating. Of course, this is friendship. Of course, this is, status building and content creation, but this is business, like this is a true business opportunity. There's people that make a full-time living hosting events.
Yeah,
That lady,
yeah.
that lady that runs Chili Coffee, not Chili Coffee Club, in Chill, Miami, they make 10 to 20 grand every event. That's all she's got to do. She does one every month.
Wow.
She's making 10, 15K a month. Just one event, one Saturday, a bunch of people go in and drink a bunch of coffee, sit in a cold plunge.
Oh wow,
What the fuck?
that's interesting.
Yeah, so that's what I'm working on. Is I'm gonna be coming up pretty soon here with a competition. Probably not for February, probably for March, but we're gonna do a competition where you can see who hosts an event that makes the most money. Because I want to start seeing people make 10 grand
Whoa.
in one event.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
man,
want
I
to do
didn't think this one.
I want to do my own mansion parties too. I mean, got me thinking. I heard homie over there talking about it.
Throw it in your group chat. Say, hey, who here owns a mansion? Like this message. Or who here owns a mansion or knows someone that owns a mansion? Like this message. Throw that in your inner circle chat. Every single person that likes that, hit them up. Say, brother, let's talk business.
Okay.
And then once you get into communication with them, hit me up and I'll tell you, how to communicate with these people. But basically, we're going to negotiate a deal and we're going to host an event. Yeah, I mean, that'd be dope. You want to do a mansion party. That's the easiest way to do it. Somebody in your group owns a mansion. You know what I mean? Like, bro, money is not hard to come by. A lot of people have $1 million. A lot of people have mansions. And it's a lot of people you wouldn't expect by their Instagram profile. A lot of the richest guys that I know that have boats and yachts, shit, their Instagram profiles suck.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You got to, and I feel like that's a mental hurdle that is hard to get over because, when people are joining in the group, I naturally want to see who's joining the group. You know what I'm saying? And when I look at, people's profiles, I'm like, damn, this is trash. What's going on? Like, what's going on here? I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Not everybody knows or has invested the time into, getting their social, what's the word I'm looking for? Their social, their online
Circle status.
Yeah. They haven't taken the time to get that right. So,
and this is what I talk about in my webinars too, right? Is like not every guy in the world has, heard of Michael Sartain. Not every dude in the world knows who Corey Shaloff is and personal brand creator. I'd say most guys don't know who that is, right? And that's a problem with getting, an issue for me specifically was getting too obsessed with game and getting too obsessed with becoming a pickup artist because you start to think that this shit is kind of normal, right? It's not. Understanding it and learning it and getting, acclimated to the red pill is a good thing because it's awareness, but you got to keep in mind, like, it's most people that don't know what the fuck we're talking about in this chat room right now, So, like I said, you can't really judge a book by its cover, especially on Instagram, because you never know who you're dealing with, man, and that's part of being a genuine.
Just to add on to that, Brian, sorry not to cut you off, but like the guy who owned the mansion, I looked at his profile and was like, he has some cool photos, but he did have a good headshot, but it's like, had I would have judged him and been like, nah, I don't really want this guy at my party, he's the older guy, or like he's in his 40s, which I wouldn't do because that's not old to me, but yeah, like you're absolutely right about that. I just had to comment on that.
Yeah, and here's why, is because guys that got it don't need to flaunt it, bro. Guys that got it don't fucking need it. So I would actually go as far to say dudes that have the most curated, most perfect profiles are the ones that are probably struggling the most. And that's why I started dumbing my profile down and started making my profile pictures and my Instagram photos more candid, more genuine, featuring other people, featuring friends of mine, low status or high status. And it's a trap to be obsessed with status too, by the way, because you start to become fake and then you start to become judgmental. And then you start to write people off, and then you start to, you start to criticize other people, and the more that you're criticizing other people, the more you're subconsciously criticizing yourself, because it becomes a game of comparison.
Yes.
No, I'm not saying don't worry about your image. Austin Dunham would say, opportunity presents itself to those who present themselves. Present yourself in the correct light as much as you can always. Those guys to the Instagram profiles that own the mansions, they could benefit from having a better profile, but at the end of the day, you don't got to have that. It's not a prerequisite to being rich. It's not a prerequisite to being good with women. It's not a prerequisite to being high status.
Yeah, I think the only like high status photo he had, I don't really. Only thing I really remember is him having a photo of a Porsche, but like, it wasn't like a 2026 version of a photo. Like, it was more like artistic. Like, it looks like he was a photographer and was like taking a photo of someone else's Porsche, like that was parked, kind of like, and it was black and white. Like, that's about it, though. So I don't know if that was his way of trying to like do it and just not knowing how to do it correctly or not. But yeah, I would say I was wondering, I wonder if that's his Porsche or not, or that he just like thought it looked cool or something.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Some people are fucking unsocially calibrated, man. I talk about it in my webinar too, bro. You don't even got to be cool to be successful. Look at Elon Musk. Does anybody in this room think Elon Musk is attractive? Does anybody in this room?
Yeah. If you were to just meet this
think that
Elon Musk, you would completely write him off.
Anybody in this room think Elon Musk has good social skills?
No.
He's neither, bro. He's like neither good looking nor socially savvy. He's like, slightly on the fucking spectrum or whatever the case might be, right? But he's successful, so even
he's on spectrum a little bit, yeah.
Even social skills is not a fucking prerequisite. Let's get to Donnie's question. Donnie, what you got for me, bro?
Hey man, quick question. It was what I had texted you earlier. So what is like the usual, I guess, percentage of people from DMs that end up buying a ticket if it's like a high ticket thing?
So the way that the numbers will break down is you'll run an ad, you'll start getting DMs. Typically DMs are going to be under $5 a piece. You're going to fill up an inner circle group chat that is at 30 people minimum to be social event hosting eligible, and then 100 people minimum to be monetization eligible. And from a 100-person group, we can typically bear a 50-person party regardless of the ticket price.
Nice. Okay, cool.
So we could crunch the numbers and do that math if you wanted to, but
Yeah, I'm a math guy, so that's where my mind goes. And
yeah. So we could crunch those numbers. I'm fucking terrible at math in my head, man. Like ever since I can remember, man, back in the day, bro, like I have not been good at math. It's just not the way my mind thinks. I'm way more abstract. But I did get good at times tables. I got good at times tables in 3rd grade. When you'd have to do like the what a times table is. You do like a race to see who could fill them out the fastest, like 10 times 10, 9 times 9, like all that shit. I got doing that fast because like my crush sat across from me and we would do these races and I wanted to win. I didn't, but it was just all memorization. That shit wasn't real math.
Respect. I respect the hustle.
Hey man, I guess that's some shadow work I got to do. I've been chasing bitches since 3rd grade, bro.
Love it.
What else you got, man?
I have one more question. Oh, sorry.
We got to go in order here, bro. We got Donnie and then we got Samet after this.
No, yeah, that was my main question. Everything else is moving forward. I'll talk to you more on the call tomorrow.
Yep, sounds good, man. Samet, what you got, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I was just kind of like, just trying to go off of like what Javon was talking about, like the charging people. Like, I guess what would you say is kind of like the most you would charge? Not necessarily the guys, because if we're bringing like very attractive women, I'm pretty sure we could charge like a premium just for the kind of value we're bringing to the men. But like, what would you say is kind of the cap on what you would charge like women? Because I do think it may not have to be something big, but like we do kind of want to do for like stuff like fashion show. We want to do like the hair and makeup. Like we're gonna give them like all this photo shoots and all this stuff. So it's kind of a lot of value that we're providing. So how would you kind of like justify like, charging the women?
Well, so I mean, are you guys maximizing for dating or are you guys maximizing for profit?
Both.
Probably
Yeah,
more dating
both,
a little
but
bit, and then as we
yeah,
go, more profit. Because we're
Yeah,
trying to get the shit up. Yeah.
we got to
yeah.
pick like you want to go for max profit or you want to go for max dating. Pick one.
What do you think, Samet? Dating for now or what?
I think profit because like if we're really gonna be treating this like as like a business
Yeah.
and we're gonna get the content and we're gonna get the right kind of content that puts us in the right light. Dating just kind of somehow like we could do like occasionally unpaid events or something that's more private. Um and you know like once kind of word spreads about like what we're doing here, then we can do something a little bit more that's catered for that. But I think
Yeah.
if we really wanna build up steam, I think we definitely want to be charging people and we want to be like not just like Brian was saying, like we're the one of one. Like we're not comparing ourselves with anyone because when we start off setting the standard that high, then
Yeah.
nobody can really come back to us and say like, well, like these people are doing this or that because they know there's nothing like us. And you know, even just like the party we just had, like that was an experience. I'm pretty sure like most of the East Bay hasn't seen a party like that in
No,
a
they
while.
haven't.
You know what I
They
mean?
haven't. Yeah, we
So
kind of
that's
stand out in that regard. Just that alone.
exactly,
Like, and we're
exactly.
not Miami. We're not LA. So even us throwing that was like
Yeah.
top tier.
Yeah, and I don't know if you told I don't know if Javon told us, but like, you know, we had like some cost of like catering and like the DJ and stuff, and like we weren't trying to pay that stuff out of pocket. So what we did is like we were reaching out to some of the guys, like you told us, Brian, to make like the men's group chat. And we were just like going like we sent a group message, but then we also ended up going and like DMing each of the guys. And they were some of them were like super eager to just like pay us, you know, like $50. Like we were even telling them 50, like 50 or 40. Some of them, the guys definitely gave pushback. Some of them said like, you know, why are you like hitting us with the last minute? So like to avoid that, you know, we're definitely gonna, you know, make it very even more transparent and upfront about like costs.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like it just showed us like it was like a proof of concept for us.
Yeah.
Like if there's value, would people really be willing to pay? And like that's a yes.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, like you guys, like we've been saying, man. Like there's not really a price for the experience people had. You know what I mean? So it's you got to think about it this way. People will happily and willingly pay for something that obviously exceeds the value of the money. People have money in abundance. There's tons of money in the world. What's $50 to somebody, bro? Right? I spend
Exactly.
that on lunch personally. So,
Right.
you know, that you gotta, you know, we also have to like retrain our brains around the mindset of money and how much money is a lot of money. And, you know,
Mhm.
people spend, like people throw money, bro. People waste money. If you were to walk around and follow people throughout their day, you'd find the money that they could spend on your event. So it's all about framing. It's all about packaging. It's all about the marketing and the sales funnel. It's got to be done correctly, but done correctly, it's all good.
Right. And one like just like two other little things is like when it comes to like our venue selection, because like we're trying to do like Javon was saying like the mansion for like I think he was thinking like about the red carpet for the mansion, but I'm thinking like there's like a place in SF. It's like this like big like cathedral looking, and it has like a long place to do like a runway catwalk kind of thing. So, but like some of these venues like they cost money, so it's always good to have a backup option. But like, how would you like say if it's a paid venue, like it kind of fits like the vision?
Most venues don't
Do you-
cost money.
Huh?
Most venues don't cost money.
No,
Most
no, no. This
have a
one's
minimum.
this one's like a peer space kind of like for per hour it's like 350, but it's like
Then I
worth
wouldn't-
it if you're
Yeah, I mean,
you
I
wouldn't
either wouldn't do that or I would charge for tickets and cover that cost.
exactly. So that's what I was saying. Like I think we're in agreement about like we would charge people first from the get-go, and based off of kind of like how
On
much money's
cost.
coming in. Yeah, how much money's coming in, then we can decide whether we want to go with like our top tier venue or like our next best option. Right.
You got to decide on the venue before you sell tickets, but you can always sell the tickets before you lock in the venue. And then if you cancel the venue,
Yeah.
everybody, but
Yeah.
you're paying hella transaction fees.
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't be telling them like what specifically the venue is before. We're just kind of like promoting the experience, and then like
You can't sell tickets without a venue.
without like a
Physical,
venue locked in.
yes.
Oh shit. Okay.
So then we need to probably reach out to Ahmed and see about the mansion. Like, I could reach out to him.
I'm gonna get to a couple of these other questions, but I think you guys need to get with me on the next one, man, just to make it happen and make sure it gets done correctly.
Okay.
Kevin, what you got, man? Kevin going once. Kevin going twice. All right, Chris, what's going on, man?
What's up, gents? First time caller here. This is pretty
Oh,
cool,
sure.
man. Just to hear the enthusiasm in groups. I'm part of a lot of different like personal development groups and stuff too. So this is definitely something different, and it's very I don't know, inviting. So I appreciate you guys being transparent of your own experiences. So I wanted to ask you guys. So Brian, I have an event on Friday. Actually, it's my birthday, and I've actually got 140 people registered. But this is all from my own personal group. It's at a 5-star hotel in Newport Beach over here at the Pendry.
Nice.
So would love to, I've done my own events already. I know we've already talked about this, but I have a specific question. Now, I know that I've heard some guys with the dating and women and this and that, right? So I've got like several conversations, I guess, going and situations going. How have you seen hosting events? Like, do you usually invite the girls you're talking with, or do you just completely leave, like don't invite them and host your own events to open it up to others? What has been the general consensus of you guys, like an experience if you're not in a committed relationship? I don't think I'm like necessarily open for a committed relationship just yet, but have you guys ever seen or gotten in trouble from like cross-contaminating like several women that you've talked with being in the same spot? Because it's happened to me a couple of times, and it's been a little, I wouldn't say awkward, but I just had to be a little bit more careful. But they kind of knew something was up. What do you guys?
Yeah. Brian told me about that shit. That happened to me.
Yeah, it's
I
really,
invited a girl out I was living with and another girl I was living with. And I wasn't committed to either of them, but they do know, bro. Like, I don't know if it's like a sixth sense or whatever, but like they be knowing. Like, I don't know. And I'm pretty good at not, you know what I'm saying? But like it just they still knew. And yeah, I think Brian says you don't want to bring more than one girl that you're sleeping with at a time. Now, if it's a girl that you've slept with a year ago or over 6 months ago, then yeah, it's fine. You could bring them. But like actively bringing women that you're sleeping with, you might raise some attraction, but you're gonna like probably lose some girls in the process if it gets there. Like you're gonna like because you can have high attraction, but if you don't have comfort, then you can lose women as well. So yeah, they'll have high attraction for you for sure, but there'll be high jealousy and it'll be like low comfort and low trust if they find out, even if you're not in a committed relationship.
I appreciate that, and I have another kind of like scenarios too, because like I have women that I've met at my events, and I've had women that like haven't, maybe they've ghosted me or they've kind of like softly rejected me, but still come to my events. My idea, and I'd love to hear your take on this, Brian. My idea is to utilize them to, because they're still attractive women, to come to the event and build like that attraction. I don't know who was speaking earlier, but just right before this, but that's kind of been my notion, to continue to create the some type of attraction. What do you think, Brian?
yeah. So when it comes to women that you're sleeping with and the events, we follow one simple rule and one rule only, and it's that you do not want to invite more than one woman that you've slept with at a time to an event within the last 6 months.
Got it. Okay.
So if it's a 6-month-old lay, then that's safe. You can pretty much have as many as you want at one event if it was that amount of time ago. But if it's within that recent 6 months, I would not advise inviting multiple girls you've slept with to one spot.
Got
Does
it.
that-
I think this might be just like a different occasion because it's like my birthday. Obviously, the other ones have more themes. My theme would be more industry related, so I probably wouldn't even have that as a scenario in my future events. You know, it just happened to be like my birthday this week. You know.
And it's not that you can't do it. You can absolutely do it, but you got to just be prepared for what wrath that may come with. And hey, if you're, if you're kind of in your toxic era and you want to do it, then go right ahead. I was in my toxic era for a while, and I'm not going to lie, I would not go back in time and undo what I did. But the lesson that I learned is that it wasn't worth it.
I understand. I appreciate that. What would you do with keeping the women that maybe aren't as interested continuing to come to events? What do you think about that?
You have slept with them?
No, not at all. Like there are girls that I've talked with. They
Yeah, but well,
either
that's
like soft rejections or what have you.
yeah, beautiful. Yeah, so that's why we do this, right? That's part of the play. That's the whole master plan, right? Is because attraction is also tied to timeline, especially when it comes to the hottest women. There's scientific studies, and I'm quoting Sartain on this one, but there's a correlation between how attractive a woman is and then how quickly she sleeps with a guy, right? The more attractive she is, the less, right? It's way less. Now, as time goes on, the likelihood she sleeps with a guy goes up, and it's also not correlated to looks, which is fucking insane to think about.
Interesting. I'd love to hear more about this.
Yeah, so meaning that's basically how physically unattractive guys have sex with hot women, is they play the fucking long game. So what I recommend is avoid rejection to begin with, right? Never over escalate an interaction with a woman. In other words, asking her out on a date or shooting your shot if she's not like a 7 out of 10 level of attractiveness or above. And that's just calibrating and understanding and being socially savvy to know how attracted is she on a scale from 1 to 10. And that's cues, right? Preening, proximity, indicators of interest, indicators of disinterest. Like these are all things that we could talk about and chop up and learn as well. But if you're asking women that are like a 7 or a 6 out of 10 interested in you on a date, it likely ends up in rejection. Now you're playing from a deficit. That doesn't mean that the game is over. That just means that now you need to take a big step back. You need to pull back a lot. And now you play the long game. And that's why I got into social game in the first place, was because I needed a mechanism to convert more of my leads, because my funnel was purely just buy or die, right? Turn and burn. Like I'd approach and I would escalate and she wouldn't like me and I would say, fuck you, comply or goodbye. I might even get a little bit, jaded and say some shit, and that doesn't work, right? We know that. That's pretty obvious. So the way to go is, whether it's a turn down or a low interest, hey, no problem. We got an event coming up on Saturday. More than welcome to bring a friend or two. You want me to add you on the guest list? Let me know. And we just play that game until eventually they're attracted or not, right? Because they're still worth something in our social funnel. A woman in your just one-to-one dating pipeline is worth $1 to you, but a woman is worth $10 to your social circle. And so
that's why I figured like if they might not push it necessarily for like a conversion, but maybe for my social circle,
yes,
like where there's like a recycle effect to it. Like there's still a net positive to the whole grand scheme of things, not on the micro scale, but maybe on the macro of like either another woman or just a general better party. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So here's like a mindset and like a kind of a mind fuck too. Some of the best things that have happened some of the best things that could happen to you is the girl that you were initially really interested in gets stolen from you by some important or high status guy at your party, as long as you play it off and as long as that furthers the connection between you and that powerful man, right? So you'd rather make the connection and you'd rather network with the high status powerful man than get the girl. And I'll tell you why. is because rare men are more rare than rare women, right? So the rarest man is more rare than the rarest women. Because why? Because women are rare based off of what, you know, really. And this isn't a sexist thing. This is controversial, but this is it's not sexist. Women are valued in society by what? Their appearance, right? Their looks, their beauty, their presentation. Men are graded upon our utility. We're graded upon our influence. And that's harder to attain, right? Like you have to, men are made, women are born. You know, we've all heard this shit before in the past. But what I'm saying is like men, because we have to go through that grind, because we're forced to become the best version of ourselves in order to even be considered for dating or considered to make money, right? So for me to sit here and fucking make money and talk all this, bro, I had to go through the fucking grind. You know what I'm saying? And like a woman that's like pretty and beautiful, she you know, she had to put on some makeup and spend some money, but it ain't as hard as what I went through, bro. Went to some fucking, you know what I mean? Like, and so she's not more rare than me. And this is dating psychology, but this is also just like bro code psychology. I actually made a video about that recently. And that's why a lot of guys can't succeed with women is because they don't abide by the bro code. They don't abide by the bro code is because they don't see the value of men, right? They're way too focused on themselves and they're selfish. So they want the girl. They got to get the girl and they don't want to share the girl, but the girl don't even want him yet. The girl's not even invested in him, but he's trying to guard that. And it's preventing him from having an abundance mindset. It's preventing him from having this, you know, collaborative mindset and seeing the bigger picture. What's more valuable to you? A fucking $1 billion business connection or a 10 out of 10 girl? The $1 billion business connection can help you get 10 out of 10 girls. So let them go. Like literally let the fucking card.
So the true conversions might be that dude. That's
Right.
Yeah, that's even like that's a equation I never even thought about, but I'm sure you've probably seen that manifested from just coaching so many dudes on events, man.
Well, me personally, I have taken the girl that I wanted to fuck the most, and I have thrown her at the dude that I'm trying to network with for two reasons, right? Number one, it's a test of her interest in me, right? If she goes with him, she wasn't that fucking interested in me. It was his girl before she was mine. That wasn't my chick. If she goes with him, that was never my bitch. Okay. And then him, if I'm just throwing her at him and he's getting fed silver spoon, silver platter, you know, just leads, then he's going to be like, this Brian Marquesano guy is the fucking man. Right? I don't care how much, you know, he may make way more money than me. He may be way doper than me. But like we were talking about earlier, relationships, dating, there's no price on that. So if I can supply that, I'm irreplaceable. And that's how you network with people that are bigger, faster, stronger, richer than you, right? Is you bring them value that's tangible and in a way that, you know, nobody else does. The number one way to do it is relationships.
Now, for your social circle, Brian, is there actual like strategies for, and forgive me for the rest of the guys who may already know this, is there social strategies for putting like events that have good looking women, or is it just, do you more focus on the theme that would attract women? Because I can imagine it'd probably be a good social, I guess, status thing to be known, like, oh, Chris or Brian's events always have like hot chicks out there, you know?
Yes, the answer is yes. And the answer is absolutely. You know, the more women, the better, up into a point, typically about a 3-to-1 girl to guy ratio. We can always talk about that more. But unfortunately, boys, we are at the top of the hour here. I've got another call coming up back to back, 6 p.m. So I'm going to jump. But any further questions, you know, if you want to follow up with me, if you want to continue this conversation, hit me up in the Discord. I'll see you guys in the Discord. Thank you for hopping on. I'm hopping on to my next call. Follow up with me in the Discord. See you guys on Thursday. We got it's a masterclass by Ice White coming up on Thursday. This is a free masterclass, guest speaker. So be there. And yeah, you guys have a good week. I'll see you in the Discord. Peace.
Peace.